Hey guys, remember basically what's going to be, I guess, the precursor to the new Disney Channel show, Tangled, to the Tangled the series. This is Tangled Before Ever After. They're calling it a movie, but I'm really just gonna say it's like a prologue. And let's talk about this because I was definitely really looking forward to this series. Basically because if you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the film Tangled. I think it is a fantastic movie. I definitely really did love this movie overall. I think it's definitely very well done. And Tangled really was, I think, the catalyst for where Disney is right now. If it hadn't been for movies like Tangled and Frozen, Disney would not be where they are in terms of computer animated films. Because you could say Prince and the Frog really did resurrect that, but that was really the end of an era where that was closing all their hand drawn films. Tangled is what started all the CGI films and it really made them, put them back on the map. I think Tangled definitely is one of those movies, and it's quite underrated. Definitely. And this is a very interesting situation because it's been years since the movie came out. That movie came out back in 2010 before I even did YouTube videos. So it's pretty crazy that this is finally coming out. But I'm very happy it is because I definitely was ready to, get used to these characters again. My only worry about it really was the animation. The animation style was different and things like that. But I gotta say, guys, after watching this special, any worry that I had are pretty much gone because I overall really loved the beginning to the precursor. I definitely really did love this special overall. I thought it was definitely very well done. It is essentially the second, Tangled 2, but it just adds a little bit more to the story. But the basic plot of Tangled Before Ever After is as follows. Basically, after Rapunzel and Eugene have taken down Mother Gothel and everything, now they are living in the palace. They're living with her parents now, and her parents are pressuring her because it's coronation day, and she officially has to become a princess, and there's a lot that rides on that. There's a lot of stuff she's being, there's just so many duties that she has to attend to. There's so many rules that she has to follow, and as we know anything about Rapunzel is that she doesn't want to do that. She has a much more carefree attitude. She's very rebellious in that way, and she doesn't know if she's really ready to do all of that. And one day, her and her friend Cassandra, who basically is kind of like her lady in waiting, but also really just her best friend, they are going to they're basically tracking down late one night they're in the woods and everything because of something that happened with Rapunzel because she ends up freaking out, and somehow she mysteriously ends up getting her lawn hair back, and that is the basic plot of Tangled Before Ever After. I don't really want to say anything else, but now let's get into this, starting off with the cast, which that is one of the things that really is very impressive about the show. Not only is it because we're having a Tangled series, I'm very happy that they're doing that, but most times when you have these series, when you have movies based on shows, Disney movies based on, Disney Channel shows based on movies, like, say, The Little Mermaid or Lilo and Stitch, it's not the same voice actors because they just couldn't get them back. It was too expensive. This does not fall into that category. Besides the animation style, everyone here came back, and I was so shocked they were able to get everyone back, but they did. And Mandy Moore's Rapunzel, it's quite a different role for her because we know she's on This Is Us, which she is fantastic, and I will definitely be giving you guys a review of that next week. Definitely look forward to that. But she is absolutely killing it on that show. And here's Rapunzel. She got right back into that role, and I really love Rapunzel had to go through here because she is just as headstrong. She is still just as carefree. She has just as much agency as she did in the original film, and I think she definitely shines very well as Rapunzel here because you can tell Rapunzel there's just a lot of stuff being plummeted on her that she really does not want to have to go through, and there's so many things that she's told to do, and she's just really not ready for it. Think about what would happen if you spent your entire life with your godmother, who you find out isn't really your mother, and actually tricked you the entire time, was actually this crazy lady. Now she's being reunited with her parents, and immediately she now has to get back into this role of being royalty, and that's something she really doesn't want to have to do. She really thought she'd be able to, get away from all that, but no, she has to actually continue to do that, and she's really not ready for that, and I really loved what Rapunzel had to do in here. I thought she definitely did a very good job. I thought Mandy Moore was just as great as she was in the film, and it really just showed that she has not lost her touch, which I was very happy about. And the same with Zachary Levi as Eugene. Eugene here, now he gets to live as he normally is. Now he gets to be his usual self, and you can tell the love he really does have for Rapunzel, but things are still a challenge for him. He is still regarded as a peasant, and people don't respect him as much as another prince that Rapunzel wants, but they have to respect it because this was Rapunzel's decision, and I really did like Zachary Levi in here, just so in love with Rapunzel, so much fun to watch, and their chemistry here is definitely spot on. It's just as great as it was in the movie, if not even better than it was in the film, because it did take them a while to get to that chemistry in the film, but they did such a great job here. I loved their chemistry. It was absolutely spot on. They very well got right back into those roles, and that really is the best thing about this, that it very much does feel like Tangled 2 in that way, where it doesn't feel like, we have to get used to other actors in these roles. We have the same actors here, and it very much feels like we're back in, the Tangled world, and I was very happy the way the show did that. Very rarely do I see a TV show do that, and this show did that perfectly, and I was very happy to see they did that. But also great are the new characters, because there are quite a few new characters in here, and they definitely do shine quite well. I really liked Eden Espinosa as Cassandra, who is, I said, Rapunzel's best friend. We don't know a ton about Cassandra right now, but I thought she was very fun. I like the way she doesn't really trust Eugene, and how she doesn't really feel Eugene should be with anyone. I think that was a lot of fun to watch. And just her relation with Rapunzel, I think, was definitely very well done. We just don't know a ton about her character right now, but she definitely was really good. But who I really did like was Julie Bowen and Clancy Brown as Rapunzel's parents. They also did a very good job in this movie. I would say movie, but it's also like a special. They did a very good job in this special. Queen Ariana and King Frederic. There's a lot of stuff that they are bringing upon, Rapunzel. Like I said, there's a lot of things that they're asking her to do, but they are still trying to be great parents. They realize, the errors that they are. These aren't parents that are bad or trying to put her in like an arranged marriage. They genuinely want to do what's best for her, and that's very rare you see in a show that's about royalty, but that's exactly what they are. They are good parents. They're trying to help her out, and I really did like seeing it. I thought they worked very well together. I really like seeing Julie Bowen in this role. Clancy Brown, it's weird to see him when he's not Mr. Krabs because we're so used to him in that role, but he did a very good job here. He actually does do a lot more cartoon voice than that. It's just a lot of people know him as Mr. Krabs, but I really like seeing him here as King Frederic. He definitely did do a very good job. I thought they also had very good chemistry with Mandy Moore, and the entire cast as well. I really don't think anyone did a bad job. Everyone really did do the best that they could do. I really don't think there was anyone that was bad in here, and I really was overall very impressed by the cast overall. But now let's get to the directing and the writing, because that's something I was definitely very happy about. Now, I don't know if this is the same person who did the film. I don't believe it is. The film was directed by Nathan Greeno and Byron Howard, and I don't know if this is directed by them. They did direct the short that came out several years ago, but they're not directing this. But it doesn't matter, because clearly the person who's directing this movie, they did their research, and they did a good job with making, keeping this in the same tone as the film. The Chris Sonnenberg, who I believe is Barry Sonnenfeld's brother. Chris Sonnenberg, not Sonnenfeld. Chris Sonnenberg overall did a very good job with directing this episode. I thought overall his directing here was very well done. I thought definitely he understood the tone this was supposed to have, and I really just had a lot of fun watching this. I gotta say, the whole time I had a huge smile on my face. I was really into everything that was going on. I really loved watching just everything happening, the story and everything was just a lot of fun to watch, but it also took itself seriously, and I was happy with that, because that was something that worked with the movie really, really well, is that it was a character-based film, and this is as well, really goes to the inner struggles that the characters are going through. I was very happy to see that, and I thought the directing here was pretty spot on. I definitely really did love the directing throughout this film. Definitely that was something that was very well done, and the story here as well, I definitely did get into the story, because that was something I was worried about. Everyone talks about how, why are you continuing a fairy tale after Happily Ever After? This movie shows why, is that there's still a lot of stuff to go through. There's a lot of stuff that's happening to Rapunzel, and especially the situation that she was in. There's a lot of her story we still don't know about yet, and that's something that this very well shows, that there's a large part of Rapunzel's family history that we don't know, and I was very happy to see that. Now, my only thing with the story, in terms of complaints is that there is a villain character in this movie who I felt like he was good in the movie. I don't know who played him, and I don't really know what his name was, but he definitely did do a good job in the special. But the problem with it is that it felt like an afterthought. Like they cut to him every so often rather than as much as they would Mother Gothel. And he definitely did have big shoes to fill. I mean, Mother Gothel was pretty fantastic in the film. She definitely did do a great job. Catherine O'Hara was fantastic as that character, and I love what she did. In not Catherine O'Hara, Donna Murphy. I don't know why I said Catherine O'Hara. Donna Murphy was great in the film. They definitely did have big shoes to fill. But I really was kind of disappointed by that character at first. However, once there is a reveal later in the special of what's really going on here, then I got on board with what was happening. Then I understood why they had this villain here, what the whole point of that villain was. Then I was okay with seeing this villain throughout the special. It was just the first few times we saw them, I wasn't as okay with it. I definitely did not think that it needed really to be there. But once we got into, like I said, the motive of the villains, then I was okay with what happened. I'll get into that motive in a little bit, but let's talk about the thing that I know most people were very worried about, the Flash animation. Which, yeah, let's talk about it. It is a trend. It is definitely a huge trend going on in animation, and it's not a good one. Most times when you see Flash animation, it means that they were lazy and that they didn't want to animate the show, they didn't want to hand-draw things. Yes, it is definitely an art form that's out there that is definitely kind of lazy, but if you really think about it, a lot of the big shows like Adventure Time, Steven Universe, regular show, I don't watch any of these shows, but a lot of those big animated shows out there, they use Flash animation, and aside from the Flash animation, yes, at first it was kind of jarring. It was weird to see these characters in Flash animation, but after 3 minutes or so, I really got used to it. I actually thought it worked pretty well, and honestly, this is a good use of Flash animation. It looks very colorful, it looks very bright, and unlike other Flash animation things I've seen, it didn't slow anything down. It still was just as vibrant, it still was just as rapid with its storytelling, and I was very happy with that. The animation honestly really served very well here. I think it works very well in Flash animation. I think it's really trying to feel more like classic Disney, and it definitely does. Like, when you watch this, it feels very much like classic Disney. They did a very good job with that, and, it took me a while to get into it, but I actually thought it looked really, really well, and because of how great the story was, and because of how great the actors were, it really did make it work. Is it really what I would have preferred? What I would have preferred was, the regular animation, but I understand it is quite hard to do that. You have to understand, making a movie, it's a lot easier to make a standalone film than to make a whole TV series like that. So I understand why they changed it up, and it actually worked pretty well. I didn't think it really was all that jarring. I liked the way it was done overall, and I definitely did like the animation here. And then in terms of the songs here were great. There were only 2 songs in the movie, but they were both very well done. Zachary Levi got to sing in the beginning, and then you had Wind in My Hair, which I believe that's going to be the intro for the show, and Mandy Moore absolutely kills in that song. I really did love the songs in the film, and I wasn't too upset there weren't 2 songs, because in the movie, there weren't too many to begin with. There were only like 6 or 7, I believe, in the film, and then they took a break, which a lot of Disney films now do nowadays. I don't know why they do that, they just do. But I really did love the songs in here. I thought they were definitely very well done, and the editing as well. I definitely got into this entire thing. I didn't really think the editing was choppy or anything, and overall, I definitely did love the overall look and feel of this, and I didn't really have any problems with it technically or anything like that. But now I really do want to get into a quick spoiler. This is nothing too big. It's just if you haven't seen Tangled Before Ever After and you want to know something about the villains, don't watch the rest of this review, because I definitely do want to talk about why a certain villain actually worked for me in the end. So let's just get into it. So, starting off, we meet this character of, this Duchess, basically, this Duchess character, and, she's very standoffish towards Rapunzel. She seems like she's above her, and I thought, okay, she's just gonna be a snobby girl. Now, like I said, throughout the entire special, as we know, there are these group of villains, and they just didn't really feel that much to me. Like, they were in there, definitely, like, the thieves were there, but they just didn't play that big of a role into the overall story, and especially with Mother Gothel, I'm like, alright, this is kind of, you can definitely tell, like, they're not going to be as good as Mother Gothel. When it was revealed, however, that the Duchess was actually Lady Kane, one of many criminals that permeate the kingdom, then I really got into it, because then we get into this whole idea that Rapunzel's father locked up all of the prisoners after rescuing Rapunzel. And there's a lot you can do that goes into making a TV show. When he was captured, I thought, okay, her parents are going to be captured. I'm glad they weren't in the end, because I really like Julie Bowen and Clancy Brown in these roles, and I really was not looking forward to seeing her track down her parents. It just seemed like it'd be such a retread of the film. She goes missing and then her parents go missing. It just felt kind of weird that they did that, but I'm glad that that didn't happen in the end. I like the way things wrapped up overall, and I think that now that we know that there are a lot more criminals out there, that very well sets up the show. I definitely thought that was definitely very well done, as well as the mystery of her hair. We don't know what that's all about. I can't wait to get more into that. I think overall that's definitely going to be very interesting to see what happened there. And like I said, at first it was a problem, but as it went on, it really wasn't as much of a problem as it was in the beginning, and I definitely did love the way things did conclude. I thought the conclusion was very well done. I thought the explanation for why the villains were there were really good, and it really did go with the overall feel of everything that was going on. So overall, guys, I really did love Tangled Before Ever After overall. I think it's a very well done special that very well does set up the show. I don't know what the show is going to entail. I really don't. I guess it's going to be like the mystery of her hair. If there's anything that the end shows that there's still a lot we don't know, like what's going on with her hair or whether the criminals are out there, things like that. We don't know much about that overall, but I definitely am interested in getting into that whole story of what's really happening there, and I really did love the special overall, a lot more than I thought it was going to, and I am going to give Tangled Before Ever After a 4.5 out of 5 or an A minus. So over, guys, my reviews of the special Tangled Before Ever After. If you guys have seen the special, let me know what you thought of it. I know that it is currently on right now. If you guys are watching this at like 8 o'clock, it's actually on right now. But I wanted to watch it before because it was a Vampire Diaries special, and I want to be able to watch that because the finale happens tonight. So the rest of my videos, will be about Vampire Diaries and things like that. But let me know what you guys thought of this special. Let me know if you're looking forward to the show. Did the Flash animation work for you, or was it too jarring? Were you happy that the cast came back? Did you like the reveal of the villains? Do you like the new characters? All that kind of stuff. But that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for the series finale of the Vampire Diaries. I can't believe that it's coming to an end, but I'm ready for the show to end, honestly. It should have ended 2 seasons ago, but that's just my personal opinion. That's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys for that, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.